hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, let me see if that works. Yikes. Hold on a second, guys. I'm just trying to fix something that I messed up. Okay, I think we're good now. All right, hello everybody. How are you all? My name is Marina, and welcome to His Girls of Science here. And this episode is going to be streaming right now, streaming into Craft from the Clock. And I'm going to try to simultaneously today. I've been trying different venues, and tonight, I'm going to be also um, going live into my YouTube channel. So we're gonna give it a try and see how that works. But I see many of you that are joining. I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Maureen. My page name is His Girls of Science, and this episode is also being streamed into Craft on the Clock, which is a private group of crafters here on Facebook, and not only on Facebook, but very soon we're going to be also joining the YouTube community. So I hope that you are going to enjoy this craft today, this project today, and that it will be inspirational to you. If you're watching me live, we'd love to hear from you. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I'm all the way here in the hot state of Florida, that it is starting to get hot. Today was one of those days that we started really cold, well, cold for us, and we ended up in the 80s. So go ahead. I see Cindy and Tracy and Lace Rustic Charm, and hi Amanda, how are you? Thank you for joining, and Kelly, thank you so much for sprinkling out my love, and Kefany, thank you so much. Kefany, I've been seeing you in all the different many of the crafting crafters today. So thank you so much for being always present. All right, so today we have, I'm not sure if you saw the description, and oh, you're all the way in Mississippi. I hope you guys haven't I think Mississippi was all right? I think it was Alabama that was hit recently with all these tornadoes, but let me know. Hope you're all doing okay. Beautiful Kentucky in the 70s, says Stephanie. And thank you for those that are joining me here in YouTube. Thank you so much. We're going to be working today. Right away, let's get to it. And I'm going to be working. Do you all remember getting these little boxes from back in, what do we call this? And Dollar Tree. Back a little box here at Dollar Tree, and thank you for those. We have several people joining here on YouTube, so thank you so much for joining this. This is a live video, and we're doing this right now, right away. So there's no editing right now, so we're doing this. All right, Kelly, thank you, and thank you for joining, and all the way from, oh, they're welcoming Amanda. Okay, and Tanisha, thank you, my love. Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? All right, so this is the boxes. Back in the days, honestly, you guys, we had these boxes. I think almost every crafter was crafting with them. These are the little wooden boxes by Dollar Tree, and they are small. But the good thing about these boxes is that it has these ridges, right? It has these ridges, and it kind of looks like something has been stacked up. So today we're going to use it for our advantage. We're going to turn it into a fall book. So it's gonna be just a pretend book. So all of you all that have those very attachments with actual books, and they are all needed. Now, today is one of those days that I will not be messing up a book, destroying a book to do that. So we're going to do this one. We're going to also turn it into, and the plan is to turn it into, give it a vintage French country look. So let's cross our fingers. Let's hope all is well. I have all my materials with me, so let's get crafting. Thank you so much for joining. If you like this, don't forget to, from the get-go, I'll tell you, give it a heart. Hope this works. Give it a heart. Give it a thumbs up, and don't forget, press that subscribe or follow button if you would like to see more. All right, so let's go ahead and get to this. The first thing that we're going to do before we start doing the box, we're going to start working on our cast. So I'm coming down to my end here, and I'm going to be getting my clay, and this is by Das, D-A-S. And you can find this at, it really is very easy to get at any crafting store, or obviously or usually online. So I'm going to get, I love doing my cast, believe it or not, on a glass. It's super easy. And I see, thank you. Hi. Can't really see your name. Navari. Want to say here on YouTube, thank you so much for joining today. All right, so I have this, and this is just, this glass is, oh, exciting, I know. Um, Oh, I'm glad you're excited about this, guys. All right, so I have this glass, and this was honestly the glass that came from a gold frame. Okay, and I've been saving it and use it on here for my cast because I love how you are able to remove it. It comes off right away. So I have a little ball here. We're going to be using, let me show you the molds that I'm going to be using today. So I picked, we're going to try to recreate, and we're going to try to give. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. That is, yes. I noticed that you're Tiffany, you are, yes, that's really sweet of you. I noticed that I want to be able to turn every single one of these stacked rectangular pieces. I want to say, not sure, that's not the way to describe it, but I want to go ahead and make them look as if it was one book on top of the other. That's what I want to get to. So to do that, I decided to make each one, go ahead and turn it as if we have each one of these, what do you call that, as if every single book, like the spine of every single book, has a different finish. So we're going to be using this one right here in the middle, sort of in the middle. And I'm also going to be using this one that kind of looks like a chain or a lattice in the right here. So I'm going to do those. Now, the very center one, especially the one right here, I wanted to look a little bit more intricate, or I wanted to have a little bit more, a little something else. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one right here in the middle. And I get my cast or my molds in many different places. I believe that I got this through Amazon a while ago. And I'm probably going to be using these two here, these two flaps on the end. So let's see. Now, one of the ways that you could do them, obviously, is by using resin. I'm choosing today to use this modeling clay. And the first thing you do with modeling clay, just to help you to remove it a lot easier, is just you're going to apply some cornstarch. So I'm going to get my cornstarch here. It doesn't change anything other than just to give you a little bit of an easier time when it comes to removal. So I'm going to just dust it. And you just want to dust it. You obviously don't want to just saturate it so much. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be removing. I'm going to go ahead and put it right into there here. So that way I could go ahead and recycle. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on this one. Now, with this one being that it's so tiny, I'm going to go ahead and stretch it and open it up. And that way I could make sure that it kind of goes into all of my little tiny crevices. Because this one is so tiny that many times when it comes to time to removal, you guys, it sometimes it just cracks or it separates, and you know the fun it is. All right, so now that we got that going, now we're ready to start adding our cast. Thank you, by the way, those that are here. This is your first time watching here my page. Let me know, please. I would love to know, and we all want to welcome you. Hi, Patty. How are you? Thank you for joining. I'm going to go ahead and create some little snakes here. Oh. And I'm going to create the big ones first. And I'm going to push it right onto there. So just like use Play-Doh, I'm going to go ahead and just run it and turn it, and just doing like a nice all long snake. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and push it right into there. And I'm going to push the other one right onto there. So I'm just going to push it down with my fingers. And how's your Wednesday? To tell you the truth, my husband said it right when we were driving home, talking to my husband, and he says, "Gosh, I look, I wish it was Friday today." It's like it's only Wednesday. To me, it feels like a very long week. But that's just me. How's your Wednesday? How's your Wednesday? All right, so now you're gonna pick something that whatever is easier for you to use. I'm gonna go ahead and use my spatula here. And once you make sure that everything is pressed down, then we're gonna go ahead and remove anything that is kind of like hanging out. The idea is that you want it to really be as flat as possible because that way you will not, oh, I'm removing it. Never mind. Hold on. That way you don't want to, you're going to have a flat back. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. It's got distracted by this thing. Sometimes when you remove it, because that cornstarch is working so well, when you're removing it, you're dragging sometimes your cast. Don't want to do that. There we go. It's going to have to find the angle that works best. So pressing it down once again, making sure that I don't have any places that are not giving me a nice molding. So that one looks like it's ready. And let's see. Oh, thank you. They are pretty molds. As I said, it's been one of those that, it's been with me for now a while. And they are so accessible, guys, so easy to get. I believe, I want to say it was probably in the $12 so to $15 range. So they're not the cheapest thing, but they're not expensive. I don't think so. I think sometimes we pay more for a meal. Right? And this is something that you're going to be reusing. I have you reused this one so many times. So all right, so that one looks like it's there. I'm gonna leave it, let it be while I finish this one. I'm going to create my other molding, which is the one that I showed you earlier. It's the one right there in the middle. And this one, I'm going to really be sure that I press it in very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and with my fingers just drag and push in and drag out and push in and drag out. And that way, and I'm making sure that as I drag, I'm pushing in my mix, my clay here. I'm pushing it in with my fingers as I drag. Now I'm ready to just take away anything extra. And again, pushing in, I'm pushing in, I'm pushing in. And I'm going to do my two little wings. And I hope that I will show you as soon as I get them out. You'll be able to see them really well. Okay. And don't forget that your clay, your air dry clay, thank you for the new person that just came in here in the YouTube. So just make sure that you're really saving your clay and that you are keeping it in an airtight container. I do like wrapping mine sometimes. I put a wet paper towel. So here's my damp paper towel. And I will put it right on there, not directly touching anything, not directly touching my clay, but I will put it inside the bag so you could draw the moisture. You don't want to put it directly onto your clay because it gets moldy. So be sure that it's in the bag, but not directly touching the clay. It has happened. It has happened to me. It has grown mold. To throwing it away. So it's like learn from my mistakes kind of thing here. So what was your dinner plans tonight, you guys? It was burger night here in this household in the Romeros. It's dinner for us. Y'all, I have a 25, a 20, and an 18 kids, a year old kid. So, for them, burgers is like, Woohoo! Bring it on, mama. So, all right. So I think I'm going to leave this one just as is. It may not be perfection, but nothing in this world is. Only God the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. So other than that, I think I'm going to be A-okay. Okay, so let's start getting this babies out. Let's go ahead and get our cast out. So here's what I do, just so that you know and you keep it in mind. If you get this, so I have a plastic wrap here. I'm gonna go ahead and put my paper towel in there. Is damp. It has been wet, and now I'm gonna just go ahead and put it in there. And I'm now after that I will put it in my Ziploc bag. Make sure that I draw as much of my air out. And there, okay? You can put it in a container. I'll keep it just like this. And let me put it back here and I will not forget. All right, so now we're ready to remove this from this mold. So this casting molds. We got our little, I call them like a little wings, but they're little scrolly things. And the nice thing, as you could see me, that I am bending back this cast, and this is all made of silicone, so you're not going to break it. These little ones are just so much, sometimes just tricky to take out because you don't want to damage their design. But as I said, sometimes they just don't always come off as you want them to. Like I lost one tiny little thing of this one, and that's the reason why I always do 2 extra ones to kind of be able to, I'll show you, be able to kind of hide away the imperfections. So notice that I did this 2 right here. So now let's go ahead and get the other ones out. I'm going to push these 2 out of the way, push them out this way. And now this ones are much easier because I could go ahead and roll them back this way. And look how nice and easy that comes out. Perfect. All right, this is all gone. We are done with this. So goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Now let's go ahead and get our wood glue, Tie Bond wood glue. Those will be the nice glues to kind of use once you're gluing this. I have my Tie Bond, but somehow I haven't been able to get it fully out. So not out, but I closed it wrong. Not being able to open it. So I need to leave it out and be able and take it with me, put in some warm water, and need to get that prepped. All right, so I'm going to take my wood glue today, come back here. And by the way, you're welcome to do the other side where I'm just time pressed. Taco salad for you. Oh goodness, I don't think I've ever done a taco salad. Oh, that's interesting. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and come. I just dropped my little cap. So I'm going to go ahead and come and I'm going to put my whole strip of glue right here. And I'm going to start perhaps with, let's see, which one? Let's start with this one on the bottom. And now I'm going to take my spatula and just cut away the little tiny bit that I did not use. Don't want to throw them away. If I have a little container, I have a little plastic container where I save them. So don't want to really throw it away. Let's see. Oh, do you love taco salad? I've never done it, honestly. Do you prefer clay over resin? I've not did either. So I was, be honest with you, for a while, a real while, I was kind of terrified of resin. I thought I was going to get it completely wrong. And resin is not something cheap. The clay will be cheaper. So resin is not something cheap. So I was terrified in a way of resin for a while. I thought, I was going to mess it up and not do it correctly. And I came to find out the resin is super easy, depending on the project, obviously, that you're making. But it is user friendly. It's really user friendly. And oops, I just lost one, so I'm gonna push this one down. It's really user friendly, and the nice thing about resin is, the good thing and the bad thing is how quickly it dries. Luke, thank you for joining. What's up? I'm just here crafting, dude. Um, yeah, so I was I really I'll be honest, I felt intimidated by resin at the beginning. And the good thing about it is that it dries quickly, and that's the bad thing about it sometimes for me, is because I want to be able to last a little more, so I could pour it, pour it correctly. And that took me by surprise at the beginning, of how quickly it dries. So it takes just like a couple of uses for you to get the hang of it. But once you get the hang of it, to be honest with you, it's super easy friendly. I mean, user friendly. Now, the other thing that I was going to say, let me put a little bit of hot glue here for my middle one. But I do have to say that for things that are kind of when I say things that have a certain shape, resin is good, and you could shape it once it's not fully dried, and you can shape it to however you want. But once it is kind of dried up, you have to really heat it up to be able to mold it. When um clay, you could it takes a while obviously to dry, but the only thing you have to think about is, so once clay is dried, you cannot really mold it. Once you mold it, you're gonna crack it. So it's like, it depends what your style is, like what you're used to. So I know that there's many other people here that use clay a lot more than I do. Okay, hold on a second. Let me center this baby up. Have used clay so much more than I do, so they could tell you a lot more. I know that was it Cindy? Cindy, don't you? Most resin take 24 hours to cure unless you get fast acting resin. I think that's what I got. I think I got the fast acting resin, but I know Cindy from Cindy's Creation here. I know that she makes many times. She will make the mold, the cast, um, and I know she sells them. So for sure, that's someone that knows the material a lot more. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these, baby. I want to make sure that they all look similar here, that they look even. Yikes, I lost a piece. Okay, so I think I did it here. But like for example, little things like this, little tiny ones like this one, the just add in the middle. I would have used resin over clay, because the resin will probably come out a little bit easier, and I wouldn't be losing parts or stuff. All right, so now that this baby is all covered up, I'm gonna go ahead and get my glass out of the way. And I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna scrape it off. It's the nice thing about using glass. Have a silicone mat also there. I'm gonna save this one. All right, so now that this is there, let's go ahead and now we're going to start getting it painted. The only thing is that right now I'm heating this up. Clay doesn't like that. Clay likes to kind of, this is especially that this is an air dry clay. Air dry clay does like to air dry. And once you force it to dry, you will see that it's gonna crack on you. So just be careful with that. Okay, I know that I have another red cap around here, but I can't find it. And let me put a piece of tape on it. I don't want my tape to dry. So there. I lost my cap. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm making here. I'm going to go ahead and get my other little glass here. And I am going to be showing you, I'm going to take my cream puff, and this is from Paint Dixie. If I could get it open. Sometimes I can't. Oh, hold on. Should have gotten this. I still have a back thumb that is still. I can't get it open, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and take my white. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my white, and this is my Snow White. I'm coming to the end of it. That's the whole thing. Is that I'm almost at the end of my white. I think I am at the end of that one. Let's get this one. I know I still have some of this. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my white, and I'm going to oh, there. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and divide this into 3 tiny little spots. So 3 tiny little little mixes. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one, and I'm using long bristle block brushes, and that is to kind of help me with the molds that I'm going to be using to not disturb them. They're still dry and they should not be disturbed. Kind of like pretend that they have a do not disturb sign. Okay, I'm just trying to touch them. I think this one is easier. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of the light pink color. Hi, Sissy. How are you? Aw. I did work all day. I did work all day. I just get a little nicer looking for you all. Yeah, I did work all day. I worked. I worked. I worked what? Almost 10 hours today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my light pink. And I don't need any more than that. And then I'm going to get my light blue. I put it on this side. And just a little tiny drop. And then I'm going to get, and this one is by Art Minds. And the colors, this one is Golden Wheat. Haven't used this one in a while, so be aware. And this one I'm going to put a little bit more because this one is going to kind of cover most of the book. Our little book, quote unquote. All right, so now I'm going to take my long bristle brushes. And I'm going to begin by covering most of the book in my golden wheat. And I'm going to kind of mix it a little bit with my white. And that is because I really want a soft color. So it's golden wheat, but lighter color. And we're going to lighten it up. Okay. So that looks good, at least to me. I'm going to come over here in the top. I should have had a bigger, longer bristle brush. That will cover a lot more surface quicker. So I'm going to just cover that. So you see, it's not much of a difference to our box, but it is different nonetheless. I'm going to cover the sides and the back. So, and I think perhaps for this, for the purpose of time, because we only have a few minutes, probably like a 10 minutes window to finish here today. I'm going to just go ahead and go quicker. Ready? And now, in a real world, in a better world, guys, you guys, I would have covered this. And I probably still have time to cover it up with some type of paper because I don't want it to look like a crate. I really want it to look more like a book. So, okay. So now I'm going to come here and I'm going to start mixing my pink with my white. I'm going to make it nice and light. And I might just need a little bit more extra white. I really want it to be super soft. Sonya's She Shed Sensation. Sonya, are you next? Just wondering, I know that you usually have the later time. Thank you for sprinkling, love. Thank you so much. But let us know, are you the next crafter? Want to make sure that people are following you and jumping to your page as soon as I'm finished here. And I'm making this one is by Apple Barrel Cloudless. And I'm going to make it super, super soft blue. So The lightest blue you could kind of handle. Gonna come back over here. Tammy, thank you so much for sprinkling. So Sonia's She Should Sensation will be up in an hour, you all. So make sure that you guys stay tuned for her. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and come over here to my, oh no, this one, sorry. This one to my second one here. This is my top, which should be the same color as the golden wheat. So I'm gonna go ahead and come over here to my middle one. And I'm going to be painting over very gently. That's why we have a long bristle brush. And just paint out blue one. And I think now you know where I'm going with this. And I think it's going to look so beautiful with that fall book look, but also in that country French style. I think it's going to look so stunning. Okay, so now that I got it in, I believe every crevice, let me look at it this way, because sometimes if you look, you're painting on the other side, it's always something that you missed. So I'm going to go ahead and look at it on the opposite end. And making sure that I have hit every side. So that's what we got so far. Notice the difference in the colors. Now let's go ahead and go to our pink. And we're going to paint our bottom one with that very light pink. And I did use, and I believe it's called Light Pink by Apple Barrel. And I even made it even lighter than that. So we're going to go ahead and go into these little crevices. The only thing is that, it's hard to kind of keep it and not touch the other side, the other one. So that's why I have my little brushes still here, and I'm going to make sure, because I do want them to look like two separate books. I don't want them to be mixing. So I want to make sure that this one doesn't end up pink. So here it is so far. Look at the lightest, sweet little pink. And now the top one will be my golden color, still my wheat color. So I'm going to make sure that I come here and that I brush my golden wheat color, that we made it a little lighter, remember that. And that one is by Art Minds, and I believe that's Michael's that sells that brand. I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a yellowish tint without having to add a yellow tint. I'm gonna go ahead and wet it just slightly because it was drying up, just to kind of help me to get to those crevices without disturbing the cast that is still drying. There. It's kind of hard working upside down, you guys, I'll be honest. Especially when you're trying to hurry up. Okay, I'm going to bring it down on the other side and try to make sure that without touching the blue paint, which is the one that follows, we're going to try to make sure that we get it nice and goldenish without touching the blue. So now we got it looking into 3 individual books. And I hope that's how it translates to you. Aren't it that darling? Look at the sweetest colors. And forgive me if I'm missing all of your comments, you guys. Oh, that's really sweet. Hi, Lou. How are you? Tammy. No worries. No worries. No worries, Tammy. Take your time and do not worry. You don't have to apologize, my friend. All right, pretty colors. Thank you. I think they come up really nicely. All right, so now we're gonna especially dry up. I'm gonna dry them up as quick as I can. We have about, I'm gonna say, for 8 minutes. So especially that top color here, I want to make sure that we got that going, because we're going to put something really beautiful up on top. Thank you for joining here I know we have our Facebook friends that are coming in and coming out. Thank you, guys. Hi, thank you, Cindy. And I will try to, if not tonight, I will go ahead and make sure that I check out your comments, you guys. Many times I don't, to be honest with you, I don't always answer to all the comments because Facebook has a way of putting us in Facebook jail. If we cannot answer all the comments at once because they think we're robots. And then they'll put us kind of like in timeout. So don't ever get offended if your crafter, your favorite crafter, did not answer you right away. It's honestly many times we just don't. We want to stay out of punishment. They do. It's very silly, honestly. But they do. They put crafters into Facebook jail, and then they don't let us comment, thinking that we are just bots. All right, give it 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds of this drying. I know, drying time is not the funnest. But it is absolutely necessary. Okay, now, are you ready for the top part? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's push this out of the way. We're already done with this for now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take my ink pads. And you guys, to be honest with you, a lot of these ink pads I have gotten at the Dollar Tree. Honestly, this whole bag I have gotten at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. Very, very quickly. We have like writing. And we have flowers. And we have, look at this sweet little design. So even if you don't have a cast, you could use something like this. Honeycombs and little thingamajigs. Like, you get a lot, honestly. I think this one is 2 packs. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. And this one is not. It's called Birds and Flowers Clay Stamps. And this one I did get it for, through Amazon. It was probably like $7. I'm cheap, guys. I'm cheap. I don't buy a lot of things that are super expensive. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this one. I'm going to put it on my little molding here. And I'm going to take my stamp pad, my ink pad, sorry. And I'm going to just ink it up. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and put it. You know what? Let me go ahead and ink pad this part too. Hold on, because I think it's going to take the entire thing. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down this way. Lift up. And look at how pretty that is. And no worries. Do not worry that it's going to, that it's not the whole thing. Got ink, that, you have ink on the entire thing. Supposed to kind of look like that. Remember, we're going for the vintage. We're going for the vintage style. Press down. Lift up. All right, so here we got thus far. And I'm going to, only on the sides here, I'm going to go ahead and put that down just like this. And put that down just like on the other side. Okay, so now, clean it up. If you have a white bead, that would be the best thing to kind of do. But try to remove as much as your ink while you're at it. All right, Allow me to just put this away. And we're going to put a little something on top of this. And that sweet little something is going to be our little bunny. And here is our little guy here. I'm going to go ahead and wet him up. And I'm also going, yes, I wet the whole thing. And I'm also going to put my Mod Podge right here in the middle. Yes, I do wet the entire thing. And I'm going to go ahead and get my Mod Podge here. And just add my Mod Podge to this. And it looks like I got a little bit too much, like usual. Okay, and if some of your ink, because we did not allow the ink to dry, if some of the ink comes off, that's okay too. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly take my fingers, and I'm going to try to tear. I'm going to go ahead and get my what do you call this? My eraser, pencil eraser, and try to remove as much as I'm able to remove of my egg. There you go. Okay, so now that I got my sweet little bunny here out, I'm going to go ahead and start putting it right directly here in the middle. And if you want to know about this wet on wet decoupage technique, go to my video on my YouTube. I have the description there on my description. You will find the link to my YouTube channel. Not the last video, but the video before that, you will see I have, was it the last video? It is the last video. I'm sorry, forgive me. It is the last video. There's a wet on wet technique when it comes to decoupage, and explain it, you know, I think fairly well, I think. But if you have any questions after you watch that, then I'm able to answer anything. Okay, so there it is. I'm gonna wet it just a slightly more, and there. And now I'm able to remove all of any extras. I'm trying not to go too much close to my stamping, because remember, my stamping is not dried. Okay. So there is our bunny, there is our side, and my time is up. So if you want to continue, this live is gonna continue on YouTube whenever you're able to. Head over to YouTube if you want to finish watching the end of this. Hi, Cheryl, thank you so much. And Natalie, thank you. You could add a cross. Wouldn't that look beautiful? It looks like a cross. I know. It's actually a bunny. Okay, so that's what we have so far. I will continue this. I'm gonna let go of you here on Facebook, and that is because we have another crafter coming, and we want to jump on right on there. So refresh your page, please, and go on to the next crafter and craft on the clock. And I will see you sometime, not tomorrow. Okay, I couldn't find a spot. But I will see you soon. And if you want to see the finished product on this, check on his grocery signs on YouTube. And the live is gonna continue. I'm gonna go ahead and continue doing this video on there to have the whole entire thing. Have a blessed night here on Facebook. May you, God bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you. May God grant you his peace. I'm gonna continue going on the live here on YouTube. Have a good night, guys. Adios. And I will post pictures. Don't forget. Every time I'm coming to turn it off, there it is. Bye. All right, so I'm going to continue here on YouTube. So now I have all of your attention here. So now I'm going to dry it up on the top. And we're going to continue this. Okay, so now that we got our little bunny here going, here we go. And we have our little things on this side. I'm going to focus now on this side, on the sides here. And the sides here, we're going to start getting it nice and, how can I say? We're going to get it nice and give it now the vintage look. So I'm going to go ahead and give it now. I'm going to go ahead and get my waxes or your glaze. So I'm going to go ahead and get my wax actually. And here is the one that I'm going to be using. And I like using, this one is by Bears, and it is an antique wax. So here is this one. This is the one I'm going to use. It's an antique wax. I already have my brush for the wax, but it's really big one. So I'm going to go ahead and take my smaller brush here, and I'm going to try to remove some of the wax before I go in. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here, and I'm going to start removing, especially that middle crevice. See that tiny little crevice in the middle right there? I'm going to go ahead and go in the middle there. And I'm going to get my wax really in there because that's what is going to give us the shadows that we're going to be able to pretend to look as if it's three different books stacked up. So now that I have my wax going into all of my little crevices here, and I am really pushing it into the crevices, into all of the different kind of the design of this cast. Now I'm going to take my my napkin, my paper towel, or if you have an old t-shirt rag, then bring it over, and I'm going to start removing. And look at you all, don't miss it, because it's lovely. I always love this step. Take my finger here and there. Do you see that? Let me stand up and show you a little bit closer. You see that? So that's how we're going to right away give it the nice vintage, as if it was nice and dirty. It's been around for many years. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look already how it turns. It gives it a nice different look. So we're going to come to this one. And I'm going to kind of just push in my wax because that is how I'm able to make sure that once I remove it, it's going to stay dark. It's kind of like that contouring your makeup. So think about it like that. It's like contouring your makeup. So I'm going to make sure. So once you remove it, then you're going to the excess, then you're going to, the darker parts, the deeper parts are going to be turning nice and brown, as if it has been collecting dust for so long. Right? We're just so dramatic here. I come back in my middle, and I notice that that one is still a little bit wet. So I'm going to make sure that I don't mix it with my, oopsie. I'm going to go ahead and remove it off my brush and continue here. So let me know what you think of this. I think we're going to make it look beautiful. Nobody's going to believe that this was from the Dollar Tree. Nobody's going to believe that you paid $1.25 for this little tiny crate. Okay, so now let's go ahead and remove the rest of this. Thank you for those thumbs up, you guys. It helps me to stand out. Just be careful because I'm actually telling myself, be careful because this is not fully dried. I did not let it completely fully dry. Remember, we're just kind of doing it live and being pressed on time. So look how beautiful. So antique looking. So many years he has lasted on your shelf. you know, as if he was passed down from generations to generations. And this wax is going to take at least a full 24 hours. Don't forget to fully cure. So allow that time. If you continue messing up with it, you're going to continue removing it with your fingers. So just know you're not doing anything wrong. It's just that it just takes time to cure. And the more you want the vintage look, the more you're going to add wax. The less you want it, the more you're going to continue removing it. And that's how it goes. It's kind of like a little dance that you kind of have to do with it. All right, so that is our lovely look. I hope you are liking it thus far. Let's come over here, and I'm going to come now I'm going to go ahead and kind of remove as much as I can of my brush here, because I'm going to come in very, very gently. I'm going to come to my edges here, because it doesn't have to look vintage just only on the sides. It has to look vintage on the top of your book too. So just being very careful with the brush, with the decoupage that we have on our napkin on here. Just gonna go ahead very gently, just brush it on top of that. Just picking up a little bit of the tinting. And I'm going to now come to my sides here. And I could remove, but I want to be able to give them a little bit more of an aged look. There. Let's just trust it on the other end. And if you want to go ahead and do the back of this, of course, you could always finish it. Going to probably leave it like that for time reasons. Usually a craft like this will take a little bit more than just an hour, but I'm just trying to brush it. Okay. I was able to do it. Changed my mind. All right, so now that we got this going on, this out of the way, let me go ahead and fold my paper here, because I don't want this to be kind of getting into that. There. We got a nice clean surface now. All right, so how are we going to finish this, and how are we going to make it look and lose that look of your, as if, we have a crate. I don't want that to be shown. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. To clean my hands here. I'm going to come, and I want to be able to use some type of ribbon so that I could be able to cover up. And I'm really trying to see which kind of ribbon I want. And I really, something like this, but it has a little light blue. So that may not be the one. But I want to be able to give it, this is a lovely blue. Want to be able to cover it up with ribbon. So I love this one. Let's see. No, not that one. This one, this is the hardest part, you guys. This is the hardest part, because you're trying to see what is it that you're going to add to this. We have a nice burlap. Might be a little bit too big. So I'm trying to really look around and see what will help me to give it a nice vintage look without covering all the work that I have done. So I have some options now that I've put to my top drawer. Okay. So it looks like I have a couple of options. Okay. So I could add, I love this one, and I love the fact that this is giving me now a nice see-through look. Look at this, you guys. And what if we go ahead and we just going to double them up? Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see if by doing this, we're able to solve that issue. Oh, I think it works. I think that works. So I'm going to go ahead and put it all these together. Cut it up. And we're going to let it be. I'm going to give you a finished product, you guys. And I give you a finished product for a little for the few here that are joining to the end. You guys deserve it. Now, don't forget that after this, to make sure that you click in that follow button. So be sure to do that for me. So the subscribe. I keep saying the different things are different in different places. You know, when you have Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest and YouTube, it's like, oh, it all kind of blurs the terminology. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I use my hot glue just to kind of make sure that to secure it there to my middle. See? Now I'm doubling up my ribbon, and these are two organza ribbons that I want to say probably something like Joann's, even though Joann's is closing, or you know, Walmart or something like that. You may have some organza ribbons. All right, so I'm gonna just do organza. Just you be careful because it will seep through. So I don't want you to be burning your fingers. So when you pressing it down, try not to directly put your finger on it. So just stretch it out and make sure that you quickly go back and forth. Okay, so now I'm going to put it around here. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that it looks even Steven on both sides here. And I'm going to just tie it in a knot, just like you're tying your shoelaces. And I know you're probably thinking, you're covering the bunny. I know. We are. But I didn't think of any other way, to be honest with you guys, of how to cover the sides looking like a crate, unless I use paper. Okay, so now that still gives it a nice flowy, look at that, what a flowy, nice look. And if you want, you could go ahead and force it to kind of do the curling that you want and make it look as if, you know, oh, look how beautiful. It just automatically flows down. And we could just force it there with with a little bit of hot glue and make it look like, oh, it's just kind of curls down, right? Whatever. Doesn't really do that, but you know what I mean. So I thought perhaps that by adding a little tiny bow this way, and this one is a bunny, might be able to compensate the fact that we don't have an actual bunny picture after we spend the time decoupaging. So let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever. Okay, that might work, that might not, but at least it will satisfy a little bit the look of the missing bunny picture that we just finished decoupaging. And there it is. Oh, I think it is. I think it does work. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, and this one being that I'm coming to the end of that little ribbon, and I want to save as much as I can out of it. So I'm just gonna make this one a little small, beautiful little bow. I'm gonna hot glue it together. And not only are we going to add this, but we're going to go ahead and, because this is a decorative piece, this is a nice decorative piece, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add a little button because, you know, everything is as sweet as a button. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little button here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe add a little bit cuter button. Let me see. Look at that. This is beautiful, but I'm not sure if that's what I'm going for. But there it is. Oh, I think I am. I'm going for that. I'm going for it. I am going for it. I'm sorry. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use my hot glue for now. But actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use my E6000. And that is because sometimes these things with the hot glue, they do come off. They don't like to stand just only be held by hot glue. So I'm going to put the E6 which is more of a industrial strength glue, and I'm going to use my hot glue for immediate hold. So I'm using both, not one on top of the other, but next to each other. And I'm going to hold it into place for a second there, for just a minute, and now the last but I'm not least that I'm going to add here is maybe just a little spring, a little actually a little pick, kind of like a little greenery. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my greenery here. I have a box that I did not put away the last time, so might just work for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and look here. This is my remnants. I think that one looks kind of like may work. But this is just remnants that, that I have here and there. And there is that one too. This is from the fall. Might work. We'll see. We'll take a look. And honestly, anything little greenery might work there. And, oh, this one. I think this one will be beautiful. Okay. Okay. So I think I got that. And we'll see. I wish that I had, no. I wish that I had a little bit of moss. And that I do. Okay. So here is our lovely little pick. And I'm going to give you a finished product, you guys. You have remained faithful to the end. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my ends here. And I'm going to tuck them underneath here. And that looks so beautiful. And I don't think I need this ones. And I'm going to use my little bit of moss. And I love adding moss simply because it's going to allow me to look a little bit more natural. I'm going to go ahead and use it over here on this end. And it also hides away imperfections really nicely. So, and this is it, you guys. We could add a tag if you want, but I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let it be. I'm going to go ahead and let this flow side to side. And I'm going to show you our finished end. This is our sweet little little project. As I said, we could cut this off on the side, but look at this. Look at this cute little project, you guys. Doesn't that look at the sides? See? We covered that up as much as we can. That it may not look so much like a crate, and it looks like a stack of books that we just tied up together, and it's ready to decorate on top of, put a cute little bunny. Go ahead and finish over here. Here's our little bunny, and I think I have a ricer. You're probably thinking, what on earth do you have next to you? I thought I had a ricer next to me, and I probably do, and I just don't know where I put it. Anyways, I do have a ricer, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, so I have this that I painted. So, imagine putting your cute little bunny next to it, which I haven't removed the tag. But look at this, you guys, next to a cute little bunny, or oh, thank you, very pretty, Loretta. Thank you so much. And this is it. Look how vintage it looks. And this is just from a Dollar Tree crate, you guys. Dollar Tree crate. Dollar Tree crate. Look at this. It's open on the bottom. It's hollow. Dollar Tree crate. And we turned it into, look at that beautiful top. Look, it looks so vintage. It looks like it has the cover of the book. It's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Anyways, I hope that inspired you today to create. I hope that this is going to get your wheels going and get you inspired to decorate and to create. Follow my page, Exclusive Science. I'm also here on YouTube and on Instagram, where you will find an incredible amount of ideas, like you have no idea. And follow me there. I so appreciate it. And come back and check out, I'm finishing up a video that I'm finishing up the editing, probably the next day or two, be posting it, and I'll see you around. Be sure you're following. Thank you so much for being here. Have a blessed one, you guys.